Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is able to hear me and everyone is able to see my screen. If possible, can someone please confirm if you are able to hear me clearly and able to see my screen?
Good evening, sir. It's a visible screen. I'm audible.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
So, yesterday, what we discussed is we completely discussed about employee details and component to component communication. With in that example, lot of concepts we learned, right? Track by is one of the concepts. After that, we learnt about pipes, default pipes as well as custom pipe. After that, input. After that, output. After that, ng container. So all these are the concepts we learned in the previous example, right? Now the next topic we are going to discuss is directives. What is the meaning of a directive? Angular provides directives for performing DOM manipulations. What is the meaning of DOM manipulation? Just like to form the DOM, to apply some styles, to do something with the DOM, to create, to form the DOM element, or to apply styles on the DOM element, to play with the DOM element. Those are called as a DOM manipulations. So in Angular, we have two types of directives: predefined directives as well as custom directives. Okay. So predefined directives means which are created by the which are created by the framework. Those are called as a predefined directives. Whereas the directives which are created by the developer, those are typically called as a custom directives here. Okay, those are called custom directives here. So till now we saw a couple of the things here so far on the directives point of view. Okay, which is structural directives. What is the meaning of a structural directives here? That is, these directives starts with star symbol. Any directive starts with star symbol, that is called as a structural directive here. Okay. So what exactly a star symbol? Typically, so ngf, ng for, and ng switch, ng if, ng star, ng for, ng switch. So what exactly structure? If we do ng if, right, then the DOM element will be formed or not. That is ngf will decide. Ng for how many TRs, how many TDs, that is a dynamic DOM which is going to form. That is typically on the structure directive. Switch, whether is it going to form a case statement, switch statement, lows are ng switch, that is typically. So these are structural directives we have. And also after that, event-based directives, there are submit, click, and change. Whenever you want to handle a TypeScript operations on a business logic on a particular event, then we'll go with event-based directives. And attribute-based directives, typically ng model, that is a two-way data binding. Whatever it is provided by the two-way data binding, that is called as a ng model. That is the attribute-based directives here. And also, we can create our custom directives also, guys. We can create our custom directives also. Okay. So what is the meaning of custom directive means? We can create our own directive. So to create our own directive, we can use element ref. I mean, the predefined interfaces we can use, guys. We can use predefined interfaces, element ref, renderer2, host binding, as well as host listener. So these are the typical things where we are having. Okay. So element ref, host by renderer, and host listener, as well as host binding. So these are the powerful interfaces which are given by Angular, which will help to create our own directives here. We can create our own directives over here. Okay. So element ref is mainly used to access any of the DOM element, guys. If you want to access any of the DOM element, we can use element ref. Renderer 2, which is an advanced version. Typically an advanced version of element ref and host binding, building a DOM element. If I want to bind to an event, if the event is performed, then the DOM manipulation should happen. That is called as a host binding here. After that, host listener, listening to DOM element. If you want to listen to a DOM element, that is host listener. So we are going to write a code on these things. Then I'm going to focus on real-time example. I'm going to explain a real-time example on directives, guys. Okay? Lot of people will ask at least 2-3 questions, guys. Initial question is, what is directive? What is structural directives? What is host binding? Those are the 2 questions will come. But follow-up question is, do you implemented any of your directives in your real-time application? In your project, did you implemented any of the directives? That is a real-time question people may ask actually. So I am going to focus a real-time scenario which I used in my project. In our real-time project, I want to showcase that so that it will be easy for you to help in the interview, guys. It is very, very easy for you to help in the interview. Okay? So this is what I am aligning for today. Before I proceed further, as of now, any questions, anyone so far? As of now, any questions from anyone so far, guys? So far, everyone is clear? Okay, right. Let me open our code here. And also, to create our own directives, guys. ng-gd or ng-generate directive, which is a directive name. ng-generate directive name or ng-gd. So that is where we are going to have here. Okay. So first I'm going to write element ref. That is what I'm going to write over here. So I'm going to create ng-generate directive. Okay. And what directive I'm going to write here? Basic highlight. My directive name is basic highlight. Something, any name I can give. What I want to do is I want to highlight something. For a DOM element, I want to highlight. That is basic highlight. Okay. I want to create a directive here. So it created, guys, basic highlight directive.ts, where you have seen at the rate of directive. This is a metadata where I can refer this outside of the world with app basic highlight. I'm going to refer this outside world app basic highlight where I want to write the code here. Okay. So what I want to do is here, I want to write a code here, implements on init. I shown you right on init, ng on init. Yes or no, guys? ng on init. So what I am going to do is I'll take a constructor. Inside constructor, first one. What is my first one, sir? Element ref, right? I will take an instance here. Private element ref, which is of type element ref. You saw here. I've taken instance of that. I'm instantiating element ref, guys. I'm instantiating element ref. Okay. So what is element ref here? To access any of the DOM element. So this dot element ref dot native element dot style dot background color is equal to, I want to apply green color. Sir, whichever the DOM element I'll apply, right, sir? Whichever the DOM element I'll apply this highlight, that will become green color. Okay? It is going to become green color here. So element ref is what? To access any of the DOM element. To access any of the DOM element. So to that DOM element, I want to apply style dot background. What I want to do here, I want to apply the style dot background. That is, I want to highlight over here, guys. So maybe small, yes, I guess. This is dot element ref dot native element dot style dot background color. Okay, right here. Now where I can go here inside my first component, right, guys? Inside my first component, I want to import. I want to import basic highlight directive, which I imported. And in the first component.html, what I'm going to write here, I want to highlight. So what I want to write here, paragraph. What name I can use? App basic highlight. Paragraph, app basic highlight. Customized paragraph. Next. Span tag, app basic highlight. Customized span tag. Div tag, app basic highlight. Customized div tag. So three things I applied, three DOM elements, guys. I'm taking three DOM elements. So Angular will access this DOM element, this paragraph tag. It is going to access element ref, to which it is attached. That style dot background is equal to green. So let me run the code over here, guys. Let me run the code over here. So localhost for the, you saw here, guys, customized paragraph, customized span tag, customized div tag. You're able to see that?
Sir, I have a question, sir. I could not join yesterday. I couldn't see the video as well. I was just trying to understand this directive, sir. Is it similar to the JSP directives, sir? We used to have in JSP world, right, sir? JSP directives.
They are different, sir. In JSP also we can achieve similar to that. Okay.
Right.
We can similar to that actually, right? But the functionality here different, sir. Here in Angular, what is the directive means? We want to highlight some of the DOM manipulations. If I want to have some DOM manipulation, we can use this. DOM manipulation means I want to highlight, I want to listen, I want to bind. All these are DOM manipulations. If I want to have a DOM manipulation, we can use. In JSP world, we have directives. We have a tag libraries, we call it as a Java, right. JSP tag lib, JSTL, but a specific functionality. Those are not for DOM manipulations. Little bit different to that in JSP to here. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay. So these are basically to beautify the UI and make any customization on top of the how the UI display and things like that, right?
Exactly. Okay. Yes.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're able to see that, right, guys? By default, here, whichever the DOM element, I didn't any DOM element. For example, in my entire application, if I want to display a text in green color, if I want to display the information in green color, right, I can use this. Or if I want to use information in red color, for example, I am using instead of green, I'll use red. Throughout the application, it will change. Throughout the application, it will change, sir. I can use this directive at any place here. So that is called as a element ref. So what exactly I did here? I was able to access the DOM element to which the DOM element. It can be paragraph, it can be span tag, or it can be div tag, whatever it may be, paragraph or a span or a div, whatever the DOM element, right? To that DOM element, right? We no need to write a code to get the ID, to style, all those things Angular will take care. Just like to that element, you need to write background color here. That's it. Okay. So this is one of the directives, which is element ref here. Which is element ref here. Right. Now I will. Any other question, sir?
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Please.
Constructor, you pass that ref
Correct.
element. Come to that place. Yeah. Instead of passing inside the constructor, we can create object before the constructor. Is it possible?
By default, sir, constructor, before I create it, right? Always it will create. Whenever an object is created, okay,
Okay.
it's better for me. Whenever a class is initialized, that time itself it's better for me. So that Angular will destruct. If I declare outside, it is possible.
Yeah, that place.
Element ref, it is possible, sir. Okay, ELE ref is equal to new element ref. Like this, you can write here. But this is not suggestible.
Okay.
This is not at all suggestible, because whenever this object is created in the DOM,
Okay.
when this class is over, for example, I'm in this page, sir. I'm moving to other page.
Okay.
After this page, I'm moving to other page. Then this class will be over, right?
Yeah.
Then when the class is removed from the memory, destructor, it will take care automatically. When destructor is taking care, the object which is created, it will be gone. It will be initialized to null. Memory will be cleared. That's why in Angular, any object you want to create, better to do in constructor. That is a suggestible path, right? But we can do anywhere. We can write anywhere. It's not mandatory that we need to write in constructor only. But if I write constructor, when the class is uninitialized or when the class is lost its scope, when it will lost its scope, when user navigates to some other page, right?
Okay.
When user is navigating to some other page, the class scope will be gone. When this class scope is gone internally, destructor will be called by the framework. During destructor, whatever the objects are created, those will be destructed. So that DOM will remove all those variables. That's the point here. It's a good question. I hope you got the clarity, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So destructor is like similar to like garbage collection in Java, sir?
Yeah, similar to that. Similar to that. Yeah.
Makes sense, yeah.
Right. Now, I want to create next. What is the one more thing, sir, guys? Renderer 2. Renderer 2. Okay. So, which I am going to advanced version. How we were able to access this native element? There is a one more way also to access the native element. Two ways. There are two ways to access the native element. That is with the renderer 2. Okay. So where I'm going to write a directive, ng-gd. Okay. ng-gd render. ng-gd, that's sufficient, right, guys? G stands for generate. D stands for directive. Yes or no, guys? ng-gd. G stands for generate. D stands for directive. Same shortcut. ng-gd render. I'm going to do that so that it is creating renderer directive here. Mr. Rabi Narayan, can you go on mute? Whenever you ask a question, not only you, better immediately go on mute, sir, because we are getting your voice. Okay, right. Now, I'm going to write over here. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I want to take two references here. Private element ref, which is of element ref, comma, private render of renderer 2. Both are available here. I am taking two objects here. Okay. So which implements on init. Implement it. ng on it. I'm going to implement here. This dot render dot. Here I can have set style. You're able to see that? There is a properties given set style. Here I wrote directly, but there is a properties given. That is what we call that as an advanced one. Set style. Okay. Where this dot element ref dot native element. To this element, what I need to do here? Background hyphen color. Background hyphen color. And which I want to apply blue color. Something like that. Some this advanced version, sir. So previously what I did here? Everything I wrote here. But here parameterized. This dot render dot set style. It is having three parameters. Which element? Which style attribute? You saw here element which is of type any, style attribute, background color, and what are the values are. Is it a green color or a blue color? Whatever it means. Right? So here we are going to first component. I am going to render directive, which is our renderer directive. Our direct name is renderer directive, right? Yes. I initialize it. Now let me here. I'm going to highlight. Instead of app basic highlight, what I can do to sir? App render, right? Yes or no? App render with renderer 2. With renderer 2. So that, oh, it is not applied over here. Set style, background hyphen color. So what exactly we are going to apply here? Background hyphen color. Maybe C small. We'll see, guys. C might be small. Yeah. It's not good, right? Color is not good. Let me change to cyan. Good color. Yeah. You saw that, guys? Customized paragraph. I think spelling mistake over here. Customized paragraph with renderer 2. Customized span tag with renderer 2. Customized div tag with renderer 2. Sir, same functionality we can achieve with element ref as well as we can achieve with renderer. Just like what exactly the difference here? What exactly the difference here, guys? Here I was able to set directly hard coded, but here I am parameterizing set style, element ref, and this color and this value. Something, a small difference between that and this. Okay? Same functionality.
Sir, I'm trying to understand the syntax, sir, in this TS file. So where is this renderer 2, sir?
Here, right, sir?
Oh,
I
that is
added,
the
right? Render. I created an object with render, and this render I'm using here.
Oh, the same render. Okay. So the
Just I will.
renderer, okay, sir. Renderer is here only, right? You are importing, right, sir? The renderer.
Correct.
Can you open that renderer, sir, quickly? Okay, this is the abstract class and
You can go through that, sir. Whenever you get a time, go through that. Okay, right.
so that is the built-in class, sir. Is it? It has like thousands of lines of code, sir.
I told, right? Apart from above, Angular is giving some of the predefined interfaces. I told, right?
Predefined one, sir. Okay, makes sense, sir. Yeah.
There are 4 things, not only renderer. Element ref is also predefined. Renderer 2 is also predefined. Now I'm going to explain host binding as well as host listener. These are also predefined.
Okay, sir. Okay. Makes
So
sense, yeah.
what we are doing with this, we are taking the predefined ones and we are customizing as per our requirement. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Any other questions from anyone, sir, so far?
Sir, why you are passing that element ref again?
Because I want to access this, which element I want to apply. Renderer is taking 3 values, sir. Element.
Okay.
How can I get element? Which, is it a paragraph? Is it a span tag or a div tag? I want to get that element, right? How can I get the element here? Again, I'm going to use native element. That element ref dot native element.
Okay.
So that element, style and value.
Okay.
Okay, right. Any other
Sir,
question?
Actually, renderer
Yeah.
is accepting four
Lot
four
of things, ma'am.
attributes, right?
Yeah, I mean, fourth one is, I told right in TypeScript, madam, where optional question mark is there, madam.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I see.
I told right in TypeScript side, flag, question mark. You may be passed, you may not pass. It's no issue, sir. That's
Yes,
what I
sir.
told, right? Optional parameters. It should be at the last.
Yes, sir.
Good question. It's a good observation, ma'am. Right. Someone is
Sir,
also
if
asking.
you have, sir, if you have more than one import, right, sir? If you say native element, how does it know which one to take, sir?
We generally write to one element, one DOM element only, right?
In the import, sir.
Right, paragraph, div tag. How can you write like this? For one DOM element, you will write, right? How will you get
Right.
more than one DOM element? You will never get, right?
Right, sir. Right.
Okay. Yeah. Some other? Someone is also asking, sir, at the same time. Any questions, guys, so far? I heard some other voice also, sir. Okay, that's fine. As long as you are comfortable, I'm good. So, next one is, I'm going to take care of host binding. Okay. So what is host binding? Typically is, I want to apply this style not on page load. Now where I'm applying, sir? Where I'm applying this one, sir? I'm applying on a page load itself. I'm going to apply on a page load itself, right, sir? Now, I don't want to apply on page load. I want to apply a listener. Listener in the sense, whenever I'm placing, whenever I place a mouse on the para tag, on the div tag, on the span tag, then only that should apply. If you don't place any mouse, don't apply. Some listener, we need to listen to that event. We need to listen to that action. Okay? Sir, as of now, element ref and renderer 2 by default applied when the page is getting loaded itself, right? When I'm loading the page, directly I'm getting the data. Am I right, sir? Now, I don't want to apply on the page load. I want to listen. I want to listen to a host. Like when mouse is entered, when mouse is left, when key press, change, something like you want to apply that only on a particular action. We need to listen to that action. That is called as host listener. Third one, guys. Host listener is listening to an event where we can apply the style. By default, the style will not be applied on page load. Make sense, sir? By default, and style cannot be applied. We need to listen to an event, and with that event, we need to apply that action. That is called as a host listener. I'll write a code on this section. Let me create one more thing, sir. NGGD host listener. Maybe I'll write listener. NGGD listener. Okay. So I'm going to listener directive. In listener directive, what I am going to do? Typically, I want to access two things here. Same element ref and renderer to private element ref of element ref, private render of renderer to. These are the two things over here. Now, what I want to do is I want to apply at the rate of host listener. What is my event name? Is mouse enter. Whenever a mouse is entered, I mean my event name, but real event is mouse over, right? We have an event name called as a mouse over, right? In a DOM. On a mouse over, event data, which is of type event. Okay? Same I want to write, guys. Whatever I wrote just now, right? Okay? Same I want to write. I don't want to apply it blindly. When mouse is over to that element, when mouse is over to that element, then only this style will be applied. Let me repeat, sir. Host listener. What it does here? It will always look for that. It will listen. It will listen. Anytime mouse is placed on that DOM element, on the paragraph tag, on the span tag, or on the div tag, whatever it may be, sir. On the paragraph, or a span, or a div. Whatever the element I am accessing, right, sir? To that element, we are listening with a host listener. Then only I want to apply element ref dot native, this background color. And I will write one more thing, guys. When mouse is enter, one more is mouse leave, right, sir? Mouse leave. I am writing mouse leave. And what I am going to apply here, I want to apply green. Green is a good color. Maybe I'll apply red. We'll see. Okay. Sir, this style is not applied immediately, sir. This style is not applied immediately. Default is what? Transparent color. The default color is transparent color. When the mouse is entered, it will become cyan. When the mouse is left, red color. So that is the meaning of host listener. So let me listener directive. I will import that. I imported listener directive and I'll apply. What is the name here? App listener, right, sir? App listener with the listener. With the listener. Right? Now, sir, nothing is happened, right, sir? What I'll do is, let me apply break. Yes. So that it has some, yeah. Now you saw that, guys? By default, when the page is loaded, no style is applied, sir. You observe that, right? When the page is loaded, no style is applied. But when I place a mouse, right? It becomes cyan color. When I left the mouse, mouse release or mouse leave, red color. Now this is, I didn't touch it in another two. Now I place the mouse. I left it. So listening to that particular event here. Listening to that particular event. Generally, sir, in a stock market, right? When the stock price is increasing, green color. When the stock price is decreasing, red color. You saw that, right, guys? Color combinations. When it is it's constant, transparent color. No, it's not increasing, not decreasing. So for that, we can apply this. Okay. Whenever stock price is increasing, when previous value to this value, green color. When it is decreasing, red color. We'll write a customized logic there. But on the logic here, whenever that logic is going to happen, you can write over here in host listener. You can apply the style. If event data dot old value, event data dot new value, if it is greater than, apply green color, else red color. Like that, you can apply. And you can apply this directive throughout the page in all the stocks. So that it's one of the scenario where we can correlate. Right? So what is the difference here, guys? What exactly the difference here? Renderer 2 blindly it will apply, sir. On page load, it will apply. But host listener, it's not going to apply. It's not going to apply. Okay? It's not going to apply. I can listen to an event. When that event is performed, that time it is going to apply. When the event is getting performed, that time this will apply here. That is the meaning of host listener. Okay?
Sir, in the swing world, there used to be these type of listeners, right, sir? On click, on mouse up, things like that.
That is not a listener, sir. It is by default. When you click, that is a normal action. It is not a listener.
Normal.
It's normal. It's an event, right? Whenever you click, something should happen, right?
Right.
Whenever you change, something happen. It is not a listener. Okay?
Right.
Listener in the sense, something like I am doing something, I'm clicking something whenever I'm placing a mouse on blur. These are some listeners. DOM is listening to that, right? Small difference. A very small,
like
minute difference.
Indirect actions, or not direct actions.
Exactly.
Okay.
Something indirect. Correct.
Right.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
So, the web page that we got, in that, the first line and the third line got, the whole line got colors, whereas the second line got only
ma'am.
for the text we
No.
got colors.
No, ma'am.
Why like that?
No. I think you have not observed properly. So what is the code I wrote, ma'am? When mouse is placed, then only color will change, right?
Yes, sir.
I wrote a code. Just like I mean, something, my mouse is gone there. Okay. Now when the page load, nothing will happen. For example, what I'm going to do is, I'm refresh the page. Okay. Only first DOM element, madam. My mouse is placed, right, ma'am?
Yes,
Cyan
yes, sir.
color. When I left the mouse, red color.
Yes, sir.
There is no change with other two because I didn't touch them. For example, you want to touch them, right? Second one. And gone. Third one. Then gone.
Yes, sir. That is what I'm asking. Like in the first and third lines, we got full length color up to end.
That is span tag, right, madam?
Okay.
Paragraph tag. It's not our color, madam. It is our para tag will be complete, right, ma'am? Div tag and para tag. That's the behavior of para, behavior
Yes,
of
sir.
div.
Yes, sir. Got it. Got it.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, that is a behavior of the tag actual. It's not nothing to do with our directives here. Okay, right. Yeah. Now, the last one, in case of here, right? Host binding. So here in Elementref, renderer, and host listener, right? I am hard coding. What I'm hard coding? Style. Style. Right? Style. I'm hard coding the behavior, right, madam? I mean, no, right, everyone, right? In the three things, I'm hard coding the behavior, only style. But I don't want to hard code. I want to send the style as an input. I want to send, I can send the attribute name. It can be style, it can be source, any of the behavior. Okay. In host listener, renderer, Elementref, the functionality we are writing the functionality. Which DOM element, which functionality should occur? We are writing the functional part of it inside the directive. We are writing inside the functional part. But I want to send the functionality as an input. From HTML, you apply style. You apply source tag, image src, right? Which behavior you want in the directive? You want to supply the directive. You want to supply that action as an input. You want to supply the action as an input. That is called as host binding. We need to bind the host. Binding with what? I am not telling which functionality you will write inside the directive. I will tell you from HTML. From HTML, I will tell you what you want to do. Take that input and implement it. Take that input and implement it. Understand, right? Take that input and implement it. So let me repeat, sir. Let me repeat here, guys. Okay. By default, what I'm going to do here, till now, we added a code in host listener, renderer. We added the direct implementation. So if you use anywhere, that implementation will be called here. But what I am looking is, I don't want to write the implementation directly. I will tell you the implementation as an input. I'll tell you the input attribute, input element. With that input, in this case, style is input, right? So I want to write that input. With that input, I want to write. And with that input, where we are going to write that particular functionality. With that input, we are going to write our functionality. So that is a host binding, which I am going to write the code here. Okay, right. So ng gd host bind. This is what I'm going to write here. So let me close everything, guys. Inside host binding dot directive.ts. Okay. Right. So what I am going to do is, I want to take the same implements which is and listener.directive. Let me copy paste so that I can save some time here. Element ref renderer 2, right? Now, what I am currently doing is here, typically, I want to bind the element. I want to bind which action I want to bind here. That is typically @ host binding. I'm writing here. And what I need to bind over here? I need to bind style dot background color. Host binding style dot background color. This is input for me. Okay, which is background color is equal to, I want to write a transparent. I want to write as a transparent. Okay. So this is my binding. This is my property. Background color is my property. So what I'm doing here, I will take these two things here as it is. Inside ng on it @ host listener. Right? Now I don't want to set like this. What I want right here, whenever a mouse is entered, this dot background color, whatever this property, right? Whatever this property, right? This dot background color is equal to cyan. I'm just writing, sir. Here, this dot background color is equal to red. So what I did here, I am binding this property style dot background color. It's an input for me. And the property name is background color. Any name you can give here. So whenever mouse is placed, previously I wrote the code, right, sir? This dot renderer dot set style, I wrote the code right previously. Now I'm not writing that. Just like this entire implementation, I binded here. This entire implementation, I was able to bind over here. Right? So where I'm going to first component.ts, which is host bind, right? host bind. This is my implementation. And first component.html and app host bind, right? So which I am going to write. Paragraph app host bind, app host bind, app host bind. That's it. Now same behavior. Now let me go to first. Sorry. Okay. Cyan. Same behavior. There is no change in the behavior. So what I'm doing here, I added a binding over here. In my next real-time example, I will write one more tag. I write one more tag in the host binding. As of now, I write only background color, right? I will write one more instance. I will write one more property here. So I am binding my functionality to this variable, and I can use this variable anywhere, so that I no need to write that entire implementation, right? So what I can do is I can take input also, sir. Here I am hard coding that, right, sir? Cyan and red, right? I am hard coding right here. Can I take as input? Yes, you can take that as an input here. How to do that? At the rate of input. We saw that, right, guys? At the rate of input, default color, which is of string is equal to transparent. This is a default color. Next, highlight color. You want to highlight, right? Highlight color, which is of red. Default value is red. Okay. So I don't want to hard code here. This dot highlight color. This dot default color. I don't want a hard code. So I am taking a properties here, transparent and red. Now you'll see here. Whenever I'm placing red color, right? When I left transparent. Now, this is what I did, right, sir? Now, I'll pass from HTML. That is what I told, right? I can bind the data, right? Yes, sir, no, guys. Input. That's what I told, right? Default color. Isn't it? Is equal to, I'll write yellow. Next, highlight color. Is equal to green. And I can change colors for different tags. Cyan, blue, black. What are the other colors, sir? Green, black, red, violet. Do you have violet, right? Let's see.
Blue, sir, blue.
Okay, blue is there. Violet is also, we'll see blue. So what I'm sending, sir? I'm sending the colors as an input. Now you'll see page refresh. Yellow color, green color. Isn't it? First one. Yellow and green, right? Second one, oh, black. Too bad, right? Nothing we are. Cyan. Third one, violet blue. Both are same. What is the other color?
Gray,
Pink.
orange.
You'll see. Instead of black, I'll take orange. Black is too bad, right? You able to see that, right, guys? So this is what with respect to host binding here. So whatever we saw here, element ref, rendered to host binding and host listener. So let me share the code over here, guys.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, every time we need to implement host listener and host binding together, can't we implement host binding alone?
You can do that, madam. But what my functionality, madam? On mouse over only, I want to do that. I want to bind a tag on mouse over.
Okay.
You understood, ma'am? On mouse over only, I want to implement. If at all, if you don't want on mouse over, you want to apply that blindly, you can do without that action. Okay? Ma'am, you're able to follow that, right, ma'am?
Yes, sir, got
Sir,
it.
one doubt, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Sir, like individual component having their HTML and CSS type, even though I just observed that when we
Your voice is gone, sir. The one who is speaking, your voice is gone.
okay, just hello.
Sir, always please make sure. Yes.
Yes, sir. Sir, I just observed that when you create the directive files, it is creating outside the structure. But generally, when we create a
Sir, I'm not sure. There is a big problem at your end. I'm not getting your voice.
okay, sir. Sir, I will ask tomorrow.
So off voice is coming now. Off voice is gone. Please make sure that, guys, when you are connected, right, you have a proper internet connectivity, guys, so that it's easy for you as well as easy for me. Okay. So where I need to have Angular, show kiting, custom directives. Yes, I uploaded. We'll see tomorrow. Thanks everyone for today. Have a great day. Thank you.